Karan Higdon announced yesterday he's not playing in the bowl game, and Angelique Shingelis of the Detroit News went on Big Ten Network today, and or yesterday maybe it was, I'm surprised by this. I'm just caught off guard. This is totally surprising. Well, I am calling that fake news. I think that is her. I don't know what these people, they think we're dumb or something like that. They go on act like they didn't know this. This was not surprising to anyone. I told you 9 days ago, we had our emergency press conference, Karan Higdon will not be playing in the bowl game, just like Devin Bush, just like Rashawn Gary. And this is what she says. I was a little surprised, Angelique Shingelis said. How were you surprised by this? This is not, everyone out there has been reporting this, myself included. We may have broke the story in some regards, but this was not a surprise. So I don't like when the local journalists think you, the respected, intelligent Michigan football fan, is some sort of dummy that you didn't realize that Karan Higdon wasn't playing just because he hadn't officially announced it yet. Almost 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. He'll play in the Senior Bowl, but not the Michigan Bowl game. So Chris Evans, True Wilson, and some other younger players are going to get the opportunity to stake their claim as a starting running back next season, try and hold off Zach Charbonnet, the incoming top 50 player in the country, one of the top running backs in the class of 2019. And with that, I want to ask you guys, are you okay with Michigan players skipping bowl games? I want you to type Y for yes, watching below, Michigan Wolverines by Chat Sports Facebook Live, Michigan Football Report YouTube channel, and my Twitter account. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Are you okay with Michigan football players skipping the bowl game? I want to know from you guys, because you've heard me in the past. I'm typing no below. I think you make a commitment to your team. You go to war with these guys. You practice your ass off with them the entire year. You're just going to skip your last game as a college football player. Talk to a guy who's 40 years old who played at Michigan. He'd probably say he'd give anything to get back on there and lace them up and put the shoulder pads on, the helmet on one more time. So I'm going no, but I do understand your concerns saying about the money and all that goes into it. So let's keep it rolling with the Michigan Football Report post-signing day rumors roundup. So now we've got 3 Michigan football players. Karan Higdon, Rashawn Gary, Devin Bush this week also announced that he is not going to be playing. But kind of like what Rashawn Gary alluded to, Devin Bush said he's too injured. It's not that he doesn't want to play in the bowl game. It's that he's too injured to play in the bowl game, and the medical staff wouldn't clear him. I'm giving this one Harbaugh head. There's certainly a small shred of truth, is what we say in the Harbaugh head scale that we give 0 to 4 Harbaugh heads. Small shred of truth that he's injured. But I want to ask you this, respected Michigan football fan. If Michigan was in the Big Ten championship game, if they beat Ohio State, Big Ten championship game, playoff coming up in 8 days from now, would Devin Bush play in that game? Would Rashawn Gary play in that game? Would Karan Higdon, if he tries to claim the injury game, would he play in those games? I would say they would, guaranteed. So if you're too injured for this game, you'd be too injured for those games. So I get that maybe it's too injured to play in a game that's not a playoff game, then say that. But these guys are coming out and saying, hey, the only reason I'm not playing this game is because the medical staff won't clear me. So I have to give it to you guys straight. I like to be fair and balanced, and with Devin Bush gave us all to Michigan. I am super happy he came. I thought he was an awesome player, one of the great Michigan linebackers of all time, but I'm not buying that the only reason he's not playing is because of his injury. If you want to say, I don't want to further risk injury, I did get banged up in the Ohio State game, that's fine. But there's no doubt in my mind, if Michigan was playing in the playoff next week, that he would play in that game. And as such, you can't blame this solely on injury. You have to say injury and I don't want to get further injured or injured, and this bowl isn't big enough for me. So Rashawn Gary, Devin Bush, Karan Higdon, 2 captains and the former #1 overall recruit in America will not be suiting up for Michigan a week from tomorrow, 12 o'clock, the day of the playoffs, December 29th. So that is a story on those 3 guys. How about the 2 other ones that we told you weren't playing in the bowl game, didn't begin practicing early middle of the month when Michigan went to bowl practices? Now there's a report out there that they're playing in the bowl. I'm going to give it 2 Harbaugh heads because this one, people are talking, and these are the 2 guys that it was surprising. Obviously, Bush and Gary, high draft picks. Karan Higdon is senior. Maybe he doesn't want to get banged up. Maybe he wants to start practicing to try and go from a 4th rounder to a 3rd rounder or something like that. But Lavert Hill and David Long, juniors, were not projected 1st-round draft picks. And they were very, what I've been told, adamant about going pro after this season. And when they started talking to agents, started hearing back from some potential NFL scouts. The word back on them was that they're not first-round draft picks. They're probably not second-round draft picks. So do they want to come out? And if they're not going to come out, should they get their ass in the game and play in this bowl game? And so that's what it seems like. If they play, it does not mean that I was wrong in my report. It means that they've changed their mind about potentially going pro. So I think you will see what happens here. If those guys play in the bowl game, Michigan starting cornerbacks the last 2 years, David Long, Lavert, I think it's a pretty good chance that they are going to stay for the 2019 season, which I think will be a nice welcome addition to that team because we thought they were out the door. So David Long, Lavert, people are saying they've been practicing this week, just in the past couple of days. Skipped a few last week, we told you. If they're back in practice, I think that means they're not going to go pro. We will probably find out more throughout the next week, 8 days away from the Michigan football bowl matchup with Florida. And this show, some of the show, on the Michigan Football Report YouTube channel. We did it together. You, me, the production staff here at Chat Sports got us over 1,000 subscribers in 1 week. Now we're at 1 week and 2 days. We're at 1,200. Now we got to get to 5,000. I told you, when we get to 5,000, you don't even want to know what's going to happen. It is going to be amazing when we get to 5,000. I get to go live on this channel now. 5,000, we need to do something even better than live. So get subscribed now. YouTube.com/Michigan TV is the URL. If you're watching right now, just scroll down, press subscribe. Every time we have a new Michigan football show, you will be hooked up with that show, and you will not have to go search on the internet for Michigan football content. All right here from the Michigan Football Report. How does Shea Patterson's father feel about skipping bowl games? Well, he is not a fan of it. If you take what he put on Twitter out there, so I'm giving 4 Harbaugh heads. This is an FACK fact that Shea's dad, not a fan of Michigan football players, or I guess any football players, skipping a bowl game. Take a look at this tweet right here from Shea Patterson. There's no such thing as a meaningless game in any type of sport or competition. Shea Patterson, he'll be playing in the bowl game. And I put out there, I was replying to people in my tweets the last few weeks about Shea Patterson, so you may have missed this one, but I put out there saying, look, I don't think Shea Patterson, from what I've been told, even if he was going pro, which it seems like he's not, would skip the bowl game. And his sister and his sister's husband, they like some of my tweets regarding that, and it sounds like his dad is right on board here with this tweet. So I'm with Shea Patterson here. Michigan has had so few 11-win seasons in the history of the program that this is an opportunity to be a historic year. You only lose to 2 top 5 teams in Notre Dame and Ohio State. That would be a good year, an all-time year potentially. I know it doesn't taste like that, it doesn't feel like that because the big blowout loss to Ohio State, but Jim Harbaugh's never had an 11-win year. He's had 2 3-loss seasons and a 5-loss season. And why? Well, you lose some games in 2015, but you win your bowl game. To get to 10-3 felt a lot better than 9-4 would have had they lost that bowl game to Florida in the 2015 season. 2016 would have been a heck of a lot better season if they beat Florida State, finished 11-2, than going 10-3. Kind of seemed like it was just an average season, although they were number 3 in the country, their final game in the regular season, so it doesn't feel as good. You go back through the years of Michigan football since 1971, folks. We're talking almost 50 years here at this point. That's 37 years. I'm just 47 years. 47 years at this point. 5 11-win seasons in the last 47 years. And you're going to say this game's meaningless? I think you're crazy if you think that. I hope you agree with me that 11-2 feels a lot better than 10-3 would. Think about 1998, 1999. 98, you go 10-3. 99, you win that bowl game versus Alabama, 2 top 10 teams. Michigan finishes in the top 5. I remember 99 as a really great season. 98 or 2000, 3 losses. I don't remember those seasons as great seasons. I remember them as, wow, a lot of missed opportunities there. So I am with Shea Patterson here. Get the 11 wins. 11-2 means something in college football. It propels you in the next season into a top 5, top 6 preseason ranking. 10-3, what are you going to end up there? Top 14 preseason ranking doesn't feel as sexy. The game is coming up 8 days from now, Michigan, Florida, and I want you guys to win $25 out of my pocket into yours. And if you do, you'll probably be my Michigan football fan of the year because 0 people, thousands of predictions on Twitter this year, 0 people pick the correct score of a single Michigan football game. Can you believe that? A little crazy to me, but DM me on Twitter, $25 to the first person who DMs me and gets the score correct. And make sure you tell me who's going to win. I'll assume it's Michigan, but you still got to tell me to get the money. Comment below, watching on YouTube, watching on Facebook, but also make sure you DM me to get in the giveaway for $25 towards Michigan footballs towards yourself if you predict the score: Michigan football and Florida. I am James Yoder, the face of Michigan football media, and next week we will have Yoder's Michigan Awards. Going to give out all kinds of awards for the 2018 calendar year for Michigan football, including the 2018 James Thomas Yoder Family Michigan Man of the Year. They put it in my name, and now you and I together, will announce a winner next week. That'll be exclusively on the Michigan Football Report YouTube channel, so you gotta subscribe below, youtube.com/Michigan TV. We will see you next week, 6:30 tonight, Corberis Crouch. Go Blue. Hey there, Michigan football fans. Thanks so much for watching the Michigan Football Report. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to Chat Sports, college football, NFL, NBA. New videos every single day. The #1 sports network on YouTube. Ready for another Michigan football video? I got you hooked up right here.